What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back. Happy Friday. Happy Black Friday, even, for all those out there in internet land who are going to be running around doing all their crazy shopping in preparation for the holidays. In the spirit of that Black Friday shopping season, let's go today to one of the most important places on Galarion where I personally, in the first Pathfinder game I was ever a part of, spent most of my money, and I imagine where most players in an open setting would go logically to spend their money, as so do a lot of the NPCs in the world. That's right, I'm talking about Absalom. Absalom is so important in this setting that in our brother setting, Starfinder, the place where Galarion used to sit, which is now occupied by a floating space station, is named after this island. And in, about a week or so, over on our brother channel, The Inn of Planar Crossroads, yours truly will be rolling out an android operative trying to do very sneaky, terrible things. And as always, this episode of the 5-Minute Tour was brought to you by those guys. Be sure to check me out on that live stream, though. Also, I guess I should probably note that there will not be a new episode of Lordly Caliber this week, though the stream gets posted on Sundays. We do play on Thursday nights, and yesterday was, of course, Turkey Day here in America, which means a lot of my players were indisposed, and so we just called it a week. We'll be back next week, though. Sit tight. For more than 4,000 years, Absalom has been the city at the center of the world, a metropolis-sized showcase of the greatest treasures in all of Galarion. The importance and influence of this place upon the Inner Sea and the whole of the entire planet cannot be overstated, because the city not only holds a key strategic position for both commercial and military endeavors in the region, but encompasses the site of the ascension of not one, not two, not three, but 4 deities. Those, of course, being the hero of mankind, Eredin, Norgabur, the god of assassination, Iomade, everyone's favorite local girl turned hero from Cheliax, and everyone's favorite drunken buddy, Caden Kalian, as well. The passage of time throughout the world is counted in something known as Absalom Reckoning, which closely mirrors our 7 days of the week and 12 months in a year. This city extends even beyond the material plane, although a pale reflection of its namesake, Shadow Absalom is the greatest city on the plane of Shadow, inhabited by fetchlings, the undead, spooky shadow stuff. Absalom is an incredibly wealthy nation, and that wealth is driven by trade. So the city's rulers strive to craft policies favorable to commerce and, of course, their own interests. Otherwise, it takes a relatively laissez-faire approach to regulation. Taxes in the city are extremely light, although siege taxes during wartime are significantly higher. There are no property taxes, although the city charges for access to roads, sanitation, things like that. Modest taxes on foreign merchants, fees for pilots through the Flotsam Graveyard, which is a large field of shipwrecks outside Absalom that no ship that carries more than 6 people or 500 pounds of cargo can sail through without a trained helmsman to direct through this hazard. Between all that and docking fees, Absalom makes enough money to sustain itself, to sustain a government. They're basically just using parking meters. Absalom is ruled by the Grand Council, which is chaired by the Primarch, a position which is currently held by Lord Gear of House Gix. The council has 12 high seats, including the Primarchs, and a variable number of low seats. Most of the city's administrative positions are filled by members of this council, the more sought-after titles going to members, of course, of the High Council. Much of the day-to-day administration is handled by the district councils of Absalom, which are headed by a nomarch who is appointed by the Low Council, blah, 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 government stuff. You get the idea. Absalom was formally founded in the year 1 AR by the god Eredin when he raised the Starstone from the depths of the Inner Sea. Eredin himself tasked the best and bravest from throughout the Inner Sea to protect the Starstone and prevent anybody from moving it. In addition to the fact that, there's a magical godstone here, its tactical position and undeniable influence over the world has given countless ambitious nations or greedy warlords the desire to have it for themselves. For centuries on end, the city was besieged by one army after another, attempting to bring Absalom to its knees and wrest control of it from everybody else. Despite this constant onslaught, in all of its years of existence, Absalom has never fallen to a foreign invader. Now, of course, like we always say, everywhere in Galarion has some sort of real-world reference, and Absalom can fill a whole lot of different niches there. As the city at the center of the world, one first might think somewhere like Constantinople, and its holy references might also give us a little bit of a pull towards Jerusalem. Also, you can tag Great Britain on here because Absalom's government is a parliament with 2 houses, which is essentially the House of Lords and the House of Commons, and what boils down to is essentially a prime minister. Also, I feel it's worth mentioning that a lot of people are of the belief that Absalom is based on the 3.5 Greyhawk setting, based on a city that one might pull out of that setting and slap in here. I didn't think about it till I read it, but the name Lord Gear of House Gix kinda sorta sounds like Gygax. Absalom in the Greyhawk setting is comparable to the city of Lankmar, which essentially is the fantasy New York. Basically, Absalom is just whatever city and whatever region that you want to be able to find anything and everything within walking distance of your house. So what do you guys think about Absalom? Ever been there? Ever had eyes to play something along the lines of a Taldan Emperor, Syrian Pharaoh, Chelish Hell Knight, and come conquer the place and through it all of the world? And now, frankly, now that I say that, I'm not really sure why my players, and me as a player for that matter, haven't gone to do this. I think I know what I'm doing this Friday. Anyway, I digress. If you've got a nation you want to see covered, throw it in the comments. We'll get right to it. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. The next episode of the 5-Minute Tour drops next Friday.